Well, new this morning, all our lives we've been taught that there's little doubt that the Earth is round, of course. We've seen the images from space, but not everyone's really convinced.
There's a whole group of people who are not convinced. Denver 7's Nicole Brady joins us live this morning. And Nicole, a conference dedicated to people who think the Earth is flat kicks off today.
It is happening in Denver. The Flat Earth International 2018 conference is today and tomorrow. And in case you're not familiar with this group, there are some variations in what flat earthers believe, but some common themes are the Earth is not a sphere, as you said. Other bodies out there are, though. It's not moving. We are not spinning on an axis or revolving around anything. And they don't really believe in space or anything we've observed from space. Some flat earthers are biblical literalists, believing the Earth and everything we see when we look up in the sky exists in sort of a dome. That's the belief of organizer Robbie Davidson. He does not believe that there is a vast government conspiracy to hide the truth from us, but he does believe that mainstream science deliberately hides a creator or God. And he says it's become taboo to question science.
They become authority figures that are so high, you can't even question them. And I think it's dangerous for anybody to be at a point where they can't be questioned or critiqued or looked into. I mean, including us. Look into us and see what we are.
So the conference schedule does include several speakers, including a PhD who authored a book called Flat Earth, Flat Wrong. So you can expect some debates here. There are not all people who believe the same thing coming to this conference. The organizer expects more than 600 people in all to attend, though.
600. This little discussion about the whole issue.
There will be some debate, yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, we have a Context 7 consumer alert for you this morning. Why AAA is warning against you using that autopilot feature.
Plus, self-serve beer stations are the future here in Colorado, but how do restaurants monitor how much you drink?
And we'll tell you why DIA was ranked the best airport in the country.
It is now 6:09. Good Thursday morning. Today is like a repeat of yesterday. Beautiful this morning. We're starting off in the low to mid 30s. A little warmer than yesterday. We'll be close to 60 again this afternoon. A lot of sunshine today, but we're going to go from sun to snow in a hurry. Details coming up.
We have double trouble on I-70. We've had that crash out by Havana on the westbound side. This is a new one on the eastbound side. You see that car went right into the guardrail. The right lane is blocked. We're waiting on a tow truck. And this eastbound crash at Colorado Boulevard has traffic backed up now to Pecos.
Breaking news this morning, Saudi Arabia says it plans to seek the death penalty for the people involved in the murder of this Washington Post reporter you see in this photograph. 5 people are accused of killing Jamal Khashoggi. He was killed inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul in September. 1 week out from Thanksgiving, and plenty of you could be flying to the best airport in the country. The Wall Street Journal names DIA is the nation's best. Now, the rankings find DIA soars above other airports on what travelers find the most important. So DIA got high scores for things like reliability, ease of getting around, and convenience.
The city of Denver's latest attempt to improve public safety starts with improving the quality of life in every neighborhood. It's called the Opportunity Index, and tonight is your last chance to weigh in.
What we need to do is get involved in those areas, roll up our sleeves, be focused on those small areas within Denver, give people an opportunity to succeed. Because
tonight's meeting is at 6 at the Decatur Place Apartments near Colfax and Federal. That's right by Mile High Stadium. The city will take all the information they get to decide which organizations can best address community needs.
This morning, Denver 7 is following up on a 360 story we first saw last night at 10 o'clock right here on Denver 7. Self-serve beer taps are becoming increasingly common at bars and restaurants around Colorado.
Basically, you register for a card, which you can scan in a self-serve tap to pour your beer for yourself. You're charged based on the amount of beer you pour.
But how do those bars and restaurants monitor how much beer you're drinking with no actual bartenders hanging around? Denver 7's Eric Lufer is live in the newsroom with this added angle you did not see last night at 10.
Mitch and Molly, good morning. The cards customers get aren't unlimited. They're capped at these self-serve establishments, and customers have to check in with an employee before getting their card reloaded. At least that's the way things are run at First Draft Tap Room and Kitchen in Denver's Rhino District. After 2 pints, customers have to check in with an employee or a beer ambassador, as they're called. They determine if the customer should be allowed more pours. First Draft's general manager knows that it's vital no one leaves his bar after drinking too much.
We'll have beers on here that are 11, 12, 13%, and if you're drinking 32 ounces of a 12% beer, like, you're going to get loaded pretty quickly. So having that 32-ounce limit just gives us the opportunity to have the conversation with them.
So there you go. The pour your own model is certainly growing. The company Pour My Beer sells the technology. Their self-serve bars can be found all over the world. 3 locations here in Colorado. Even big chains like Buffalo Wild Wings are testing it out at some of their locations in other states, one in Minneapolis. Now, Red Robin in Castle Rock gave it a try this past summer, but corporate told me feedback from employees and customers led them to going back to a traditional bar setting. Molly.
All right, let's keep the conversation going like we keep the beer flowing. See what I did there? Just send us an email to 360@thedenverchannel.com to share your view.
Have you been partaking already? All right, then we got a live look right now from our Lookout Mountain camera. Another gorgeous start to the day. Looking over downtown Denver, waking up to a beautiful sunrise. Kind of cool and crisp out there so far.
Looks flat.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll talk more about that coming up. And Jace, that eastbound drive yesterday was brutal. It was very bright.
Sun glare.
Yeah. Same thing today. You saw it there, and we're close. 6:40, about 6:45, our sunrise this morning. At this point, we're in the 30s, upper 30s. It's nice. It's about 5 degrees warmer than where we were at the same time yesterday. And look at the normal high. It's 52. We'll be at that mark by about 11, and then in the mid to upper 50s for highs this afternoon. We'll get back down to in the 40s by about 7. So after sunset, it'll cool down, but still really pretty nice. In fact, we're looking at 50s here in store through tomorrow. Sunny and dry statewide, and then still a storm that's going to bring some light snow likely on Saturday. It still doesn't look like heavy accumulation. I'll show you that chance for some totals, what we'll see total-wise coming up in just a minute. From our Viero camera out in Burlington, it's beautiful, mostly sunny and again very bright. Look at this shot down and through the Sangre de Cristos. Clear skies statewide. The mountains are going to see again more sunshine today. Now we've got a wide range of temperatures. You saw from that Lookout Mountain camera, it was a little bit shaky. Winds kicking up in spots, and so that's going to help to boost those temps in some locations on the western edge of town. So Boulder right now 45. Littleton, though, you're at 36 and 37 right now here in Aurora. Clear skies across the state today, and again, sunshine's going to be the factor today and tomorrow. Very bright early on. We'll be in the low to mid 40s here at about 9 o'clock, and then we should get to right around 55 here in Denver between 12 and 1. This afternoon, mid to upper 50s, back in the upper 40s after our sunset this evening at about 5:30. So it will cool down pretty quick tonight, but then early tomorrow morning, more upper 20s to even upper 30s. Now, we do have a little increase in cloud cover tomorrow, but we're still pretty warm, close to 60 tomorrow afternoon. Overnight Friday into Saturday, that's when the cold front's going to roll through. Winds will shift. It's going to get colder, and that's what our futurecast looks like at 5:30 on Saturday morning. Snow totals still don't look super impressive. It looks like less than an inch at best here across the metro area. We could see some heavier snow up north, though, from Fort Collins up into Wyoming. I'll show you some of the alerts that have been issued for parts of Wyoming coming up a little bit later. It is going to be colder, though. We'll be in the low 30s to upper 20s early Saturday, and we won't see those temperatures budge much. We'll be at about 32 Saturday afternoon, and then it gets pretty cold early Sunday morning. Skies will clear out, though. Teens early Sunday, and then some mid to upper 40s with a mostly sunny sky. Next week looks great. As far as travel goes, we're expecting some dry conditions here in town Monday and Tuesday, so no issue if you've got a flight. Mid to upper 50s both days, and pretty warm, Jace, leading up to Thanksgiving.
Unfortunately, we have double trouble along I-70, and really, if you count the water main break over here, triple trouble along I-70. We'll start with the crash that's on the eastbound side right by Colorado Boulevard. From Air Tracker 7, you can see that we still have the right lane blocked. A lot of Denver police officers here, and this traffic jam is now growing back to Pecos and Federal, so heavy stop and go. And it's also affecting coming off a northbound 25 to go east on I-70. The other trouble spot, you can see it from the camera out there. It's now all off to the right shoulder, so the lanes are opening on westbound I-70 coming in from around Chambers and 225 all the way out here. It's super heavy stop and go traffic. And then you look at those travel times, and they are over a half an hour on the westbound side, almost that on the eastbound side. Then you throw in this water main break that's just off of Peoria 47th. You can see the water still flowing there on the street. They have not shut it off completely just yet. And so we do have 47th closed down here right at Peoria, which is over there. And so 47th or 49th can get you around it. And I think that should probably be one of the better alternates for you here this morning. The rest of the drive looks pretty good. 45th can also get you around it pretty good. Very typical stuff for us to the north side, south side. Quiet for now.
All right, thanks, Jason. We have a Contact 7 consumer alert this morning. AAA has issued a warning about automated driver's systems like autopilot or pilot assist in newer cars. AAA tested out the technology, which keeps you in your lane and controls your speed based on traffic. The test found these systems don't work well in places with poor lane markings or heavy traffic.
Just know that while you're driving, you're the driver, and that all of the technologies can only make you safer, but they can't take the wheel.
Well, AAA recommends if you buy a car with some kind of auto driving feature, make sure you know what it can do and cannot do. You don't want to end up having to rely on something that doesn't work.
In Colorado, more than 160,000 kids live in poverty. As we head into the holiday season, this time of year can be especially difficult for the families of those kids. And that's why Denver 7 is collecting toys for the holidays. We will be out at 3 Walmart locations. This will be on December 7th. This is from 6 in the morning until 7 at night. And we're collecting toys, also cash donations. The 3 locations, you see them there on the screen. They're in Inglewood and in Lakewood and Thornton. You can find information on what types of toys are needed or how to make an online donation if you wish, under the lifestyle section of our website, thedenverchannel.com.
It's also about time to dig out our favorite holiday movies to watch.
You mean Die Hard?
Yeah.
Yes. We all have our own opinion of which is best. After the break, we're going to see if your favorite films make this year's top 5.
I like the old school Grinch. Plus, we may not have to rush to see this giant troll sculpture. After all, the new plea from its artist and what he wants to see happen to it. It's just about 6:25. The creator of this giant troll sculpture in Breckenridge wants to find it a new home. We told you the town is taking it down because of safety concerns. Well, the artist posted on Facebook saying it would be a disaster if the time and love put into building this sculpture goes to waste. So he's asking others to help find a new home for it. He's apparently made dozens of these trolls out of scrapped wood, and he places them all around the world.
Well, here's proof that one man's trash is another man's treasure. Historians are digging up 2 sites at the Garden of the Gods right now. They think these sites are where the family of Colorado Springs founder William Jackson Palmer, they buried their trash there. So crews have found fragments of ceramic plates and bricks, bits of light bulb, glass bottles. And so it seems like it's trash, certainly, but experts are using it to learn more about everyday life in the late 1800s. And you can check this all out this weekend. They've got free guided public tours being held Saturday through Tuesday. They start at 11 in the morning, and then there's till 3 in the afternoon. All right. We all have that our favorite holiday movies around the Christmas
We also
time,
have
right?
that one friend we have to watch around the holidays. A new one comes out every year, but it's hard to beat the classics, right? According to USA Today, Fandango surveyed millennials to find out what the favorites are this year. And here's a look at the top 5. Home Alone, Elf, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or Grunch, as it says in the teleprompter, and Santa Claus.
So we want to know what your favorite movie is. We've posted this on the Facebook pages here, and you get extra bonus points if you post a GIF, whatever. I already got some of them. Some say White Christmas. Let's see. Craig says there's a bunch of them. Charlie Brown, Rudolph, Christmas Carol, Polar Express.
Love Actually. Hello, Love Actually.
Love Actually is.
Chuck
I'm glad to
Jackson
see that Die Hard made it as a Christmas movie.
See?
Well, the
Somebody here put
millennials
it in.
picked some really old movies, which is
They
impressive.
did.
Yeah.
Some classics.
Elf?
Elves. Yeah.
It is
He's going
Christmas.
Elf.
Come on.
But it's not semi-old, though.
I don't know what Mitch's could be. Elf.
Elf? That's good. Come on. It's my hero. Ron Burgundy. All right. Before Christmas, we have to get through Thanksgiving next week, of course. Some good news. The feast may not cost you as much this year. Why prices are dropping.
Plus, reports of an iPhone 10 bursting into flames. What was happening before the flames started?
It's 6:30 now, and these are our top stories this morning. In the next 3 hours, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock will announce an expansion of the Immigration Legal Fund. Now, that provides legal services to immigrant families facing deportation. Whether you approve of this or not, we all helped fund it. The city set aside $200,000 from its general fund to go toward legal assistance this year.
A decision over the future of the Adams 14 School District may not be decided today as expected. For the first time in state history, the State Board of Education wants to take authority away from the district because it's failed for several years now to improve student performance. Here's the trouble. During the first day of hearings yesterday, the district signaled it was not willing to give up very much control. According to Chalkbeat, the board is now getting the Attorney General's office involved to see exactly what powers they can force the board to give up.
And happening today, hundreds of people who think the world is flat will convene right here in Denver for a conference. This is the second conference this year in the country, and the founder and organizer says Denver has a large and growing flat earth community. Well, welcome back to Denver 7 News at 6 this morning. I'm Mitch Jelniker.
And I'm Molly Hendrickson. Our Nicole Brady will join us live in about 25 minutes with more on that conference. You're going to hear some really interesting perspectives on all of this.
Yeah, stick around for that. In the meantime, let's got a live look right now over the camera. This is looking over the Pearl Street Mall there in Boulder. And a nice day. Most of the snow is kind of melted off, hasn't it?
Yeah, after yesterday's gorgeous day. And Lisa has our first alert for another beautiful day.
Yeah, more melting in store today. At the bus stop this morning, we're going to be in the low to mid 30s, so it's a cool start. You know, your kids are going to want a jacket early on, but this afternoon, like yesterday, they won't need it. It is going to be beautiful on the playground. Mid to upper 50s for highs today. Sunny, very warm, and again, a lot more melting expected today. Right now, we're looking at temps climbing to right around 58 between about 3 and 4. So Littleton, you're at 58, low 50s for the foothills, and the mountains are going to see plenty of 40s and sunshine this afternoon. Coming up in just a few minutes, that's the view from our camera out in Lyman. Lots of sun today, but we're going to trade that with snow by early Saturday morning. So, Jason, just about 48 hours from now, a different scene. Details coming up.
We don't need snow to get into crashes. We already have a bunch of them here on the highways. Look at the drive on eastbound I-70 passing the Purina plant. Heavy stop-and-go traffic. It's double trouble on I-70. That's behind the eastbound crash at Colorado Boulevard. There was also a westbound crash at Havana, and it's about a half an hour either direction trying to get out through Stapleton right now. It's also affecting northbound 225, 20 minutes, and most of that heavy traffic is coming up from 6th Avenue and Colfax trying to get onto I-70. We've had this water main break closing down 47th just off of Peoria. From the camera there, you can see the water is basically shut off, but there's a lot of repairs that need to be done. This will be closed down for the better part of the day, so 45th is a really good way to get around that. And then now down to the Denver Tech Center. The newest problem, northbound I-25 right here at Bellevue. Air Tracker 7 is there, and you can see that we have a building in the way and then a big crash right here in the right lanes with traffic backed up to Arapahoe.
Well, Colorado's weather may be picture perfect today, but from wildfires on the west coast to rain and snow and icy conditions on the east coast, we're sandwiched by very much different situations today. The weather radar behind me shows the monster storm moving up the east coast. It's happening right now. This is part of the same system that moved through Colorado earlier this week. The storm already caused problems in Tennessee. A tour bus crashed on an icy road there, killing 2 people, injuring 40 others. Now, the storm is expected to move into the northeast a little later today, dumping up to 8 inches of snow by the time everybody's trying to go home tonight. Out west, the wildfire situation, sadly, is not getting any better. More than 100 people are unaccounted for in Northern California. That's where that big campfire is still burning. Right now, the death toll stands at 58, but officials worry that number will only rise. Today marks 1 week since the campfire and the Woolsey fire in Southern California sparked.
Today, a U.S. district judge will decide if CNN reporter Jim Acosta should get his White House press pass back. Acosta's pass was revoked after an exchange with President Trump during a news conference last week. Much of the debate at yesterday's hearing centered around whether the White House retaliated against the reporter. Justice Department lawyers argued Trump can choose the reporters who cover his events. Now, our parent company, EW Scripps, was among the list of media organizations to file a brief in support of Acosta and CNN.
Today marks 3 years since Colorado State Trooper Jamie Jurcevics was hit and killed by a drunk driver while investigating a crash near Plum Creek Parkway right on I-25. The man who hit her was driving home from a Broncos game. He was sentenced to 8 years behind bars in 2016. He will have a parole hearing next May.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, the annual Ski Expo opens in Denver. That means all types of sales for you and the family. The expo runs tomorrow through Sunday. It opens every morning at 10 at the Colorado Convention Center in downtown Denver. And we're told the discounts on clothing and gear will range from 20 to 70% off, so some good deals to be had. And that expo will help people get prepared for more ski resorts to open. Tomorrow, Monarch Mountain and Copper Mountain both open for the season. Then on Saturday, Aspen and Snowmass gets the lifts moving.
Well, new this morning, we have heard about problems in the past with those Samsung phones, all of a sudden catching on fires from the faulty batteries. Well, now the problem could be impacting iPhones.
Denver 7's Maribel Aber is live, and Maribel, Apple is now looking into this.
Yes, good morning, Molly and Mitch. An iPhone 10 burst into flames. A man from Washington State says his phone got hot, then caught fire while it was going through the operating system upgrade. He says the phone was only about 10 months old. Apple's asking him to send it back to them so they can investigate. Panera starts breakfast delivery today. The chain will offer the service at 381 locations. Orders need to be $5 or more, and hours for delivery sort of vary by location. Panera started delivering meals 4 years ago and uses its own fleet of drivers rather than a third party like, say, Uber Eats. Mitch and Molly, if you haven't had the soufflés there, those breakfast soufflés, right on.
I can try it.
I'm a Panera fan. All right, Maribel, we know you love Christmas. Thanksgiving is next week. Dinner costing a bit less this year than last. Are you a big Thanksgiving fan, too?
I am. It's just I'm a crazy Christmas fan. Thanksgiving dinner is going to be the cheapest it's been since 2014. The cost of turkeys is down according to the American Farm Bureau. So this is thanks to the supply of turkeys being more plentiful this year. So think about this. For the amount you can pay for a fast food meal, you can have Thanksgiving dinner. The cost for the T-Day meal is about $5 per person. Mitch and Molly, I have a tip for you.
Yes?
If you've never done it before, brining your turkey overnight, so soaking it in kosher salt and water, perfection.
I know. I do it for like a couple of days. It's awesome.
It's like you're speaking a foreign language to me, Maribel.
She doesn't even know how to spell brine. Sorry, Maribel.
Oh, come on over.
All right, girl. Thank you.
Maribel, she burned taco shells.
Yes.
Coming up in just a few minutes, we have holiday travel help for you next week, a really cool hotline you'll want to hear more about. We're coming up on it, Jace, almost Thanksgiving, and we've got quite a few warm days before it. Details coming up.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be thankful for this new crash on the northbound side of I-25 right before Colfax. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 cars in here in that left lane, already heavy coming up from Alameda.
Well, new this morning, juice seems to be the favorite during many of the kids' lunchtime, but that choice may be a bad thing for their health.
A study in the Journal of Nutrition, Education and Behavior found high school kids are more likely to pick juice over other options like milk or water. And this means they could be missing out on key nutrients like vitamin D and calcium, not to mention a lot of sugar they're probably getting.
Kidding.
Pediatricians recommend teens drink no more than 8 ounces of juice a day.
Buttermilk and carrots for you.
Well, today we'll get a new look at just how many people in Denver suffer from depression.
And this is because the Denver Public Health is releasing its report. They call this Depression in Denver Through the Lifespan. And so it's hosting an event. It goes from 2:15 this afternoon through 4. People will share their experiences with depression, and the city will talk about ways it plans to deliver some treatment, how to help people. The organization says 70% of people suffering from depression in Denver just don't seek help, so maybe this will help them out. 6:42 now, and we are working on several developing stories ahead of Good Morning America. First of all, ahead on GMA, flipping back to flip phones.
Why more parents are opting to get their kids flip phones over smartphones. Plus, Turkey Day troubles, the salmonella outbreak trying to put a damper on our holiday feast.
Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., what is Thanksgiving without some turkey? The salmonella outbreak that could fry our feasts.
Plus, is the Earth really round? It may sound like a silly question, but hundreds of people in Denver today question that.
We're coming together, just challenging what science has taught us about this ball.
2 more days with highs in the mid to upper 50s. In fact, tomorrow we're close to 60. It's a big change on Saturday. Details on this next cold front coming up.
But first, Denver has made a statement in the past that it stands behind its immigrant population with this sign posted on the city and county building. And this morning, there will be even more evidence of that.
Denver 7's Megan Lopez is live for us this morning with more on this. Megan, the mayor plans to expand a rather controversial program that uses taxpayer money for legal defense.
That's right. It's a legal defense fund that pairs up immigrants who are facing deportation court with lawyers who can help them argue their case. Mayor Hancock and the city say that it shouldn't really be a matter of whether or not you're able to afford a lawyer in order to get that representation. So last August, the Denver City Council enacted an ordinance and that prevented law enforcement from asking someone about their immigration status. That same day, the mayor signed an executive order to create this fund. Then in November, the city dedicated $200,000 to the program, and by March, that fund had grown to $385,000, with new money coming in from different foundations. Now, this morning, the mayor is going to announce its extension for at least another year. The SAFE network, which provides the lawyers, says that it's had some big success nationwide, helping immigrants navigate through the deportation courts. 38% of its cases have been successful. That's compared to just 3% of immigrants who go in front of a judge without a lawyer. Now, this program certainly not without its critics. Some disagree with taxpayer money being used to support people who enter the country illegally. But the city's website says that not only are a lot of these immigrants who live specifically in Denver paying some sort of a tax or another, but they're also contributing to our economy. There's a lot of data about that. So in just a couple of hours here, Mayor Hancock is going to double down on his support for the immigrant community and for this fund by extending it for another year. I'm live in front of the City and County Building. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
At 6:47, taking a live look from our Denver Health camera, looking up 6th Avenue toward the foothills. Just a few minutes ago, we had a beautiful shot from Air Tracker 7. You could see Purple Mountain Majesty.
Yes, you can see the snow-capped peaks there.
And you can still see them in the distance a little bit.
It's a pretty start to the day.
Not quite as purple, though.
It's gorgeous, though. Yeah, a little snow still there in the foothills. A lot of it melting down here yesterday. You want another day of 50s?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
do.
You got it.
All
right. It's that easy.
Merry Christmas.
Don't say I didn't give you anything, right?
Okay.
Now, next week, you guys, we've got the holiday hotline. This is awesome. So if you're traveling anywhere, whether it be across Colorado or the country, you can call in on Monday and Tuesday between 4 and 6:30. You can talk to your own meteorologist. We'll get you where you need to go and let you know what you need.
Personalized forecast.
Yep.
Huh?
Holiday hotline.
I don't think it has a jingle, but we might get one. Thanks, Molly. We'll be publishing the phone number a little closer to the day so that you know where to call. But just to give you an idea what's coming up next week, beautiful today, though. Low 50s by noon, upper 50s by about 4 o'clock. It's going to be a warm afternoon, very close to where we were yesterday. And we'll stay warm both today and again tomorrow. We're expecting sunny skies across the state throughout the next couple of days, and then, yeah, some snow on Saturday. We'll trade the sun for the snow within just a few hours. Here's the view, though, east of the airport right now. Pretty shot on our Viera wireless camera, and you can see, again, some pretty clear skies and a very bright eastbound drive. Temperature-wise, we're in close to 30 there in Dacono, 38 right now in Littleton, and 38 also in Aurora, so a wide range of temps this morning. Compared to yesterday, most neighborhoods are going to be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday, so it's been a nice warm-up. Take a look at the alerts. Now, there's nothing right now here in Colorado. That may change. We may see a few winter weather advisories for those northern Front Range mountains, but right now all we're looking at is a winter storm watch. Now, this goes into effect tomorrow late day until Saturday at 8 o'clock. Just to give you an idea of where some of the heaviest snow is going to be, up near Cheyenne and up until Laramie, we could get about 2 to 5 inches there right across that Colorado and Wyoming border. So we may see some heavier snow up near Fort Collins and Greeley. Right now, things look pretty light for us here in Denver, less than an inch. Might be more like 1 to 3 up to the north. Quick look at Futurecast. Now, again, today we're under a clear sky. We'll be in the low to mid 40s by about 9:30, 50s this afternoon, upper 50s between about 1 and 4 o'clock, and then we'll start to see those numbers drop back down after sunset.